Hello, my dear businessman. Hello, bookkeeping and tax advisors or experts. Let me look back to our trip to United Kingdom to London, where we were invited by a group of CIOT Institute. This is Tax Institute in United Kingdom, and this is, let's say, something we have in the form of Chamber of Tax Advisors in Czech Republic. So we had meeting together September 5th, and we had very nice meeting with chairman and vice chairman of CIOT. The first question was addressed to how tax advisory services, tax advisory, tax consultancy profession gets regulated in United Kingdom. I think we all who were present were deeply surprised by the fact that there is no regulation. That means that being tax advisor in United Kingdom, in London, Glasgow, in Cardiff, in Swansea, you have no regulation, just you have to be of age, that means 18 years and more, and you simply ask for trade license at trade licensing office. The next question which gets offered is why we can find, let's say, real expert. If profession has no regulation, there are many people who come in, but they do not bear good quality. This question, which is logical, was quickly answered. These guys said, well, this is why we are here, Tax Institute, and if we invite our members, first they have to pass the exams. So they've got the exams, according to which they receive a badge, very nice badge, and certificate that they became members after passing the exam. So this is just a sign of quality, and questioning those guys how many applicants pass these exams. They were talking about 35 rate of success. So most people do not pass, at least for the first time. And in other words, if you want to have good quality tax expert in Great Britain, do ask about CIOT badge or certificate. Otherwise, you risk, as there is no regulation at all in British tax system, advisory consulting system. I think the second point or topic we discussed and opened is, let's say, how municipalities in Great Britain are strong, especially in relation to state budget. It's widely discussed question what power, what money proportion we should address to municipalities unlike state. I was quite surprised, but a little bit less than the fact before that, let's say, most public finance is controlled by state. That means that municipalities are not given much power. If I asked why, the answer was simple. UK was very often at war, and being at war, that means one-way direct management, which could be uniquely done by government, by state. So being, let's say, state official, you receive much more power, much more possibilities how to spend money compared to municipal official. So this is a different approach we are used to in Czech Republic, where, in my opinion, municipalities received or have received quite a lot. Well, I think the third topic I would like to talk about, and they talked about in very detailed way, is structure of taxes in UK. Well, theoretically, Czech tax system, we've got direct taxes, especially when income got taxed. Secondly, we get indirect taxes, usually consumption, at certain way. For example, excise duty, value-added tax. These are core principles. And then we've got third group, logically, property or wealth taxes. So in broader context, the same classification, the same tax division in United Kingdom. And as for, let's say, regulation or how much income national budget get, very interesting proportion and let's say downward trend is that As for income taxes, we've got more incomes from individuals, no matter at what form they make money. They could be logically under dependent scheme, that means employees, and as well sole entrepreneurs. Unlike corporations, that means that corporations are very good at reducing a taxable amount as much as possible or as low as possible, unlike individuals. So most incomes from direct taxes come from, let's say, individuals, tax on individuals. Indirect tax is represented by excise tax and VAT. As for VAT, he said, well, that's problem, especially with excessive tax refunds, and especially with companies who all of them disappear or do not communicate with tax administrators. And the result or the outcome, government or state loses money. So deductions, especially sudden deductions at huge rate, at huge amount. This is the same risk, and we are having in Czech Republic actually, and there is similar approach of tax administration to look after and to implement similar, let's say, instruments how to prevent tax administration from being fooled. Let's say excise tax or taxes addressed to consumption, especially tobacco, alcohol. This is very important source of income, as these guys said, and I think that's similar in Czech Republic. Property taxes, especially real estate, and they still have something we were having with real estate transfer tax, so-called stamp tax. So if I transfer certain property, certain asset, I need a authority to put a stamp verifying the transaction and putting stamp that costs in some way, in some form of tax. So I think that we are copying the system they are having in Great Britain. We had quite interesting discussion about legislation. So we should remember that logically this is United Kingdom and Great Britain as well. This is English, Scottish, Northern Irish and Welsh, let's say, state, and legislation is binding for all these four nations. But you know that 18 September, Scots will vote about staying within UK or getting independent. So we will see the outcome. To be honest, I don't think it's great threat for 60 million, I would say, English population. If 5 million nation would like to go individual, I don't think it poses real threat for British economy. But having talked to certain people of various professions, I can state that they do not want Scots become independent. Let's not say independent, but they think they lose their traditions they are having 100 years long. Probably traditions are something we do not recognize much in Czech Republic, but British and English do understand what tradition and what mission of tradition is. So we will see, and we will see the outcome. So they will have referendum 18 September, and we will see. As to legislation, probably last point to address, I was asking who actually forms legislation. If situation is about the same we have in Czech Republic, that means that these are guys, politicians who do not know much about profession, who do not understand bookkeeping itself, nor taxes. So they said, well, we feel we are having quite strong influence on guys who pass legislation and put, let's say, legislative acts to our political leaders. This is something different from us. I don't think that neither Chamber of Tax Advisor nor Union of Accountants have significant impact to legislation and to the way legislation is being done. So probably they are a little bit more advanced. So thank you for listening to my speech about United Kingdom and the basic facts I learned in United Kingdom and London. Thanks a lot.